Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Om Ganana Antva Ganapatigam Vamahe Kavin Kavina Mupavashravastramam Jeshtarajam Brahmanan Brahmanaspata Anushrinoti Visveda Sadhanam Om Mahaganadipataye Namaha Hari Om Keshavaya Namaha Narayana Namaha Madhvaya Namaha Govindaya Namaha Vishnuvaya Namaha Matsudaya Namaha Trivikramaya Namaha Vamanaya Namaha Sridharaya Namaha Rishikeshaya Namaha Padmanabhaya Namaha Damodaraya Namaha Sankarshanaya Namaha Vasudevaya Namaha Pradyumnaya Namaha Niruddhaya Namaha Purushottamaya Namaha Dokshaya Namaha Narasimhaya Namaha Achyutaya Namaha Chirantanaya Namaha Upendraya Namaha Hare Namaha Sri Krishnaya Namaha Sri Krishnaya Namaha Hari Om Hari Om Hari Om Hari Om. Dear friends and devotees, we were discussing about Shiva Maha Purana. Shaunaka Rishis are asking two questions to Suta Maharshi. Now, the episode of Daksha cursing Narada is coming in this section. With the permission of Lord Brahma, Daksha Prajapati created many things just by his mental resolution. But finding the absence of any kind of evolution and development in them, he went to Brahmaji to take his advice. So Brahmaji instructed him to create, by the help of copulation, Daksha Prajapati then married Asikiti, the daughter of Panchajana. 10,000 sons, including Haryashva, were born to them, but all of them were directed by Narada to follow the path of salvation and meditation, and they didn't agree to go towards the marriage and increasing children. After that, Daksha married Panchajani, from whom were born thousands of sons, but all of them followed the path of salvation and were not interested in procreation. Narada was instructed in changing their mind. So, because Brahma instructed him to create population, sons and grandchildren, but they were not listening because Narada directed their mind into salvation and meditation. After that, Daksha Prajapati became very angry with Narada and cursed him to become an eternal wandering person. Daksha said, "You will never remain in a place for long." Now, the next episode is the birth of the Sati in Daksha Prajapati's house. When Lord Brahma came to know about Daksha Prajapati's anger towards Narada, he went to him and cooled him down. Subsequently, 60 daughters were born to Daksha Prajapati. He conducted his marriage of 10 daughters to Dharma, 13 daughters to the Kashyapa Maharshi, and 27 daughters to the Chandradeva. 2 daughters with Bhutangiras, 2 daughters with Krishvashva, and the remaining 6 daughters with Garuda. Daksha meditated on the form of Bhagavati. Daksha meditated on the form of Bhagavati and was instructed by her to do penance. Daksha did a tremendous penance and thus was born Uma to Daksha and Virini. Uma was brought up with a great love and affection. Uma used to worship Lord Shiva by singing devotional songs on his praise. When Uma or Sati attained a marriageable age, Daksha started worrying. Sati understood the reason behind her father's mental worries. She went to her mother, Virini, and expressed her desire of marrying Lord Shiva. Her mother, Virini, made all the arrangements so that Sati could worship Shiva without any problem. Sati commenced her austerity named Nandavrata, which continued for a year. Being impressed by her austerities, all the deities descended down from heaven she had. Brahmaji makes a request to Lord Shiva. All the deity, all the devas and the sages requested Lord Shiva to get married, but Shiva did not want to curtail his freedom by getting married. When the deities and devas insisted, he told them to find a suitable match for him. Brahma and Vishnu told Shiva about the tremendous penance Sati was doing to him as her husband. They also requested them how to go to her Uma and fulfill her desire. Lord Shiva agreed. So Shiva went to see Uma. Shiva blesses Uma with a boon. After Uma had accomplished her penance named Nandavrata, Lord Shiva appeared before her and asked her to demand anything. Ask her boon. Uma, because of her shyness, could not say anything. Lord Shiva knew about her desire, so he said, "You will have me as your husband." Uma's face is beamed with joy, but she shyly requested Lord Shiva to keep this proposal before Daksha. Shiva agreed and said Tathastu. He then went back to his abode Kailasha. Sati narrated the whole story to her parents. Both of them became very happy with this news. Lord Shiva then instructed Brahmaji to put a formal proposal to Daksha regarding his marriage with Sati. Lord Brahma went and informed Daksha about Lord Shiva's proposal. Daksha was very happy at the proposal. Brahma then came back to Lord Shiva. Shiva married Sati. The next episode. Lord Shiva was anxiously waiting for his arrival. Lord Shiva was anxiously waiting for his arrival. When Lord Brahma arrived, he curiously asked about Daksha's response. When Lord Brahma told him about Daksha's approval of the marriage, Shiva was also very pleased about this. Lord Shiva proceeded towards Daksha's abode on the auspicious moment of Palguna, Krishna Paksha, and on the 13th day of Palguni Nakshatra, sitting on the back of Nandi and accompanied by all the devas, including Lord Brahma, Vishnu, he reached Daksha's residence. The marriage procession was received by Daksha with a great respect. Shiva narrated Sati in auspicious Lagna. The marriage procession was received by Daksha with a great respect. Shiva narrated Sati in an auspicious Lagna. Being pleased, all the deities eulogized Shiva and danced in joy. Lord Brahma faces the wrath of Shiva. Daksha presented invaluable things to his daughter Sati as a dowry. Similarly, the Brahmins were presented with large quantities of wealth. Lord Brahma was enchanted by the divine beauty of Sati. With a desire to see her face, he put logs of wood which were wet into the Yagnakunda and poured ghee on them. As a result, the atmosphere was filled up with a smoke. Lord Brahma was enchanted by the divine beauty of Sati with a desire to see her face. He put logs of wood which were wet into the Yagnakunda and poured ghee on them. As a result, the atmosphere was filled up with smoke. Now Brahma removed the piece of cloth which covered her face. He became infatuated by her beauty. When Lord Shiva discovered about his evil intention, he ran towards him menacingly. Lord Shiva wanted to kill him, but the Devas prayed to spare his life. Lord Vishnu eulogized and worshipped him, and only then his anger was subdued. Thus Lord Brahma was forgiven by Lord Shiva. Deformed face of Brahma. Though Lord Shiva had forgiven Brahmaji, yet he instructed him to apologize by bowing down his head. Brahma did as he was instructed. Lord Shiva then established on his head. Brahmaji became ashamed and asked as to how could he atone for his sins. Lord Shiva instructed Brahmaji that by worshipping him, he could appropriately atone for his sins. He then instructed Brahma to go to the earth where he would be worshipped as Rudra Shira. Shiva said, your worship would help the Brahmin in accomplishing every kinds of work, taking lessons from the people, taking lessons from you, people would not dare to have extramarital affairs. Shiva Shakti as husband and wife. After reaching Kailash mountain, Lord Shiva instructed all his ganas, attendants, not to disturb them. Shiva and Shakti, when all the ganas went away, Shiva and Shakti enjoyed a blissful union for 25 Deva years. Shiva Shakti depart from Himalaya. When the rainy season arrived, Shakti requested Shiva to make a residence in such a place so that they could not be disturbed by rain, etc. Lord Shiva smiled and said, dear Sati, the clouds and rain will not dare to disturb if you are present by my side, no matter wherever we live, even if we live on the peak of Himalayas. Sati requested him to make Himalaya as his abode. Lord Shiva agreed, and both of them shifted to their new abode of Himalaya, where they lived for 10,000 Deva years. The importance of devotion in Kali Yuga. So the next episode, explanation, Suta Maharshi, Suta Purana is explaining the devotion in Kali Yuga. Sati requested Lord Shiva to enlighten her mind by giving discourses. Shiva revealed to her the importance of devotion in the Kali Yuga. He said that the value of knowledge, jnana, and asceticism, vairagya, would diminish to the extent of extinction in the era of Kali Yuga, and only devotion would help a man in attaining liberation. Lord Shiva said, I had burned the time Kala for the benefit of the devotees with my third eye. For the sake of my devotees, I even abandoned Ravana without any partiality. For the welfare of my devotees, I even instructed Nandi to punish sages, Vyasa, who was exiled out of Kashi. Shiva preached on many topics like devotion, types of devotion, yantra, mantra, and scriptures. When Shiva is telling like that, Sati developed a doubt. Devarshi Narada, who was listening to the divine tales of Shiva, narrated by Lord Brahma with rapt attention, requested him to describe about other characteristics of Shiva. Brahmaji said, once Lord Shiva, accompanied by Sati, arrived at Dandakaranya, where Sri Rama was wandering in search of Sita, who had been abducted by Ravana. So Ravana taken away the Sita, and Rama, without Sita, he was upset, and he was looking in Dandakaranya, looking where Sita may be there. So Rama is wandering here and there in search of Sita, who had been abducted by Ravana. After walking for some time, Lord Shiva saw Sri Rama and Lakshmana. After walking for some time, Lord Shiva saw Rama and Lakshmana. Lord Shiva made salutation to Sri Rama. Sati was surprised at Shiva's behaviors. She asked Lord Shiva about the reason he made salutation to Sri Rama. Shiva told Sati that Sri Rama was his deity, his Deva, and an incarnation of Lord Vishnu. But Sati was not satisfied by this reply. She wanted to test whether Sri Rama was really an incarnation of Lord Vishnu or not. She disguised herself as Sita and went to Sri Rama. But Sri Rama recognized her real identity and addressed her as mother. Sati was ashamed but asked Sri Rama as to why did Shiva made salutation to her. Sri Rama narrated the following story. Shiva does not see Sati as his consort. Once Lord Shiva requested Vishwakarma to construct a grand palace and a magnificent throne for him. When everything was ready, Shiva invited all the Devas for the crowning ceremony of Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu was requested to be seated on the throne and was worshipped by all the Devas, including Shiva himself. He assured Lord Vishnu that all of his incarnations would be shown respected by Shiva devotees also, and Rama, the incarnation of Vishnu. Sati was now completely satisfied She was also ashamed of herself that she had doubted Shiva's words. She went to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva stopped looking at Sati as her consort because she had personified herself as Mother Sita. This fact was given corroborated by a heavenly voice. Now Sati's heart was filled up with sorrows. She followed disenchanted Shiva. She followed disenchanted Shiva to the Kailash mountain where he commenced his meditation and went into Samadhi. She sat down without saying a word. When Lord Shiva came out of Samadhi, he saw her sitting there. He felt pity on her and drove away her guilt and sorrows by giving discourses. Daksha's animosity towards Shiva. Daksha Prajapati, being a father-in-law of Shiva, he developed a sort of animosity towards Shiva. Once the sages organized a yajna at Prayaga, which was attended by all the devas. Now Shiva too had come accompanied by Sati. He was eulogized and worshipped by all the devas and the sages. Daksha arrived there and after making salutation to Lord Brahma, sat down without showing any kind of respect to Lord Shiva. After that, because Daksha Prajapati thinks he is my son-in-law, so he wants son-in-law to respect father-in-law. After that, all the deities and the sages came and made salutation to Daksha, but Shiva sat where he was sitting. The ignorant Daksha cursed Shiva that from now onwards, Shiva's share would not be kept in the yajna. That means when they are making ahuti for homa and say Shivaya Swaha. So Daksha Prajapati cursed Shiva that he can't take except Swaha Avana in the Havan. At this, Nandi, the vehicle of Shiva, became very angry and cursed Daksha that from today onwards the Brahmins would fail to understand the essence of the Vedas. Lord Shiva then pacified Nandi's anger and both of them went back to their abode. Daksha too went back to his place and started having hatred towards Shiva. Daksha Prajapati started hating Shiva. So Daksha organized yajna at Kankala, in which everybody except Shiva and Sati were invited. Sage Daditi arrived and not finding the seat for Shiva, went back saying that it was impossible to join the yajna program without Lord Shiva. Then Daksha commenced the yajna with the assistance of other sages who were present there. Sati's arrival at the oblation site. When Sati saw all the devas are going happily to her father's yajna, she became curious to know where they are going. She requested her companion to ask the moon as to where he was going in such a cheerful mood. The Chandradevas told her companion that they were going to attend a yajna ceremony being organized by Daksha Prajapati. See, Chandradeva also son-in-law of Daksha. Sati was very surprised at this information. She went to Lord Shiva and sought his permission to go to her father's house. Lord Shiva then told Sati that her father did not invite them because of the animosity he was having towards him, Shiva. Sati became very furious and decided to go there to know about the reason why Daksha was performing the yajna without inviting her husband Shiva. Shiva sent Nandi and other Rudraganas as her escorts when Sati is going. When Sati reached where Daksha was performing the yajna, she met her mother and sisters. They met her with all the respect and honor, but Daksha did not even cast a glance at her. Imitating him, many other people did the same, but Sati, not bothering about the disrespect shown to her, made salutation to both her parents. When she reached near the Yajna Mantapa, she saw that shares of all the devas was there except that Lord Shiva. She became furious and asked her father as to why was Shiva not invited to the Yajna. Daksha then made fun of Shiva and cursed him. This made her more angry, and she declared that she would give up her life in everybody's presence. After the declaration in her own mind, she invited Agnideva to engross her by thoughts of Shiva. Sati gives up her life. Sati then sat in Padmasana and closed her closed her eyes. By her yogic powers, she united with Shiva and her lifeless body fell into the Agnikunda. This incident shocked everybody, and Rudraganas furiously picked up their weapons. Right then, heavenly voice was heard. Oh, mean Daksha, shame on you, shame on you. You are a sinner and a fool. Now you are certain to face the wrath of Shiva. Because of your act, the Devas too will have to suffer. Daksha became scared. He immediately eulogising Lord Vishnu, manifestation of Virabhadra and Mahakali. When Nandi informed Shiva about Sati's death, he became very furious. He angrily pulled out locks of hair and dashed it against the mountain, which got divided into two parts. From one part manifested the valiant Virabhadra, and from the other part Mahakali. Virabhadra and Mahakali were instructed by Shiva to destroy the yajna of Daksha and to kill all the people who were present during the time of Sati's death, including the Devas and the sages. Virabhadra and Kali assembled their army. After getting the instructions from Lord Shiva, Virabhadra marched with a huge army, which included the mighty Shivaganas like Dakani, Bhairava, and Kapilesh, and goddess Kali to join him with her army, which consisted of all her 9 incarnations like Katyayani, etc. As the army marched on, numerous auspicious signs were visible. Daksha experiences inauspicious signs. On the other hand, Daksha experienced many inauspicious signs. His left eye, left army, and left thigh, left arm, and left thigh started throbbing. He saw the he saw the vultures flying over his head. He heard the sounds of jackals howling. Lord Vishnu reaches Daksha. Daksha then prayed Lord Vishnu to rescue him from the imminent wrath of Lord Shiva. Lord Vishnu preached Daksha and said, Daksha, since you have committed the greatest sin by dishonoring Lord Shiva and Sati, even I cannot prevent the calamities which you are certain to face. As Lord Vishnu was preaching Daksha, suddenly there was a loud commotion. The army of Virabhadra had arrived. Daksha was frightened and again prayed to Vishnu to save his life. Lord Vishnu again expressed his helplessness and told him that because of him, all the Devas too would have to suffer. Daksha gets his head severed. A terrible battle was fought between the armies of Virabhadra and the Devas. The Devas got defeated and fled away. They went to Lord Vishnu and sought his help. Lord Vishnu decided to fight on the side of the Devas. The battle recommenced for the second time. Lord Vishnu having a dual fight with Virabhadra, and the Devas were fighting against his army. Suddenly everybody heard a heavenly voice which said that Virabhadra was invincible. Hearing this, Lord Vishnu and Brahmaji went to their respective abodes. Daksha ran for his life and hid himself behind the altar where the yajna was being performed. But Virabhadra pulled him out from there and severed his head. He then threw his head in the Agnikunda. After this, he returned back to Kailasha accompanied by his army. Contention between Kushva and Dadichi. Narada, who was listening to the divine tales of Shiva with rapt attention, was very curious to know about the reasons why Lord Vishnu attended a yajna where Shiva was not invited, and why did he fight a battle against Virabhadra despite knowing about the invincibility. Lord Brahma told him that all this happened due to the curse of sage Dadichi. In the ancient times, there used to live a king named Kushva, who was a great friend of sage Dadichi. Due to some reasons, both of them developed animosity towards each other. Dadichi considered himself superior because of being a Brahmin. On the other hand, Kushwa considered himself superior on account of his wealth. The dispute took a worse turn and Dadichi punched him on his head. As a result, Kushwa fell down unconscious. When he regained his consciousness, he attacked Saint Daditi with his weapon named Vajra, which injured Dadichi. Dajiti sought the help of Shukracharya. Shukracharya healed his wounds by his mantras. He also taught Dajiti the Maha Mrityunjaya mantra. Dajiti then did a tremendous penance to please Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva appeared before him and blessed him with three boons. They were his boons would become as hard as lightning, Vajra Ayuda. If he would not be killed, he would not be killed. He would never be humiliated. Armed with these three boons, Sri Daditi again went to fight Kushva. He kicked him in return Kushva too attacked him with his weapon named Vajrayuda. But it did not have any effect on Dadichi as his bones had become as hard as lightning. King Kushva did a tremendous penance to please Lord Vishnu. Vishnu revealed to him that Dadichi had become immortal because of the blessings of Lord Shiva, but assured him that he would certainly help him in defeating Dadichi. The battle between Vishnu and Dadichi. Lord Vishnu then visited the hermitage of Saint Daditi, disguised as a Brahmin. On being asked by Dadichi about the purpose of his arrival, he said that he had come with a desire of a boon on his heart. Saint Dajiti, by his yogic power, came to know about the real identity of a Brahmin who is other than Lord Vishnu. He told that he had been caught. Lord Vishnu was ashamed. Lord Vishnu then went back to Kushva and instructed him to go to Saint Dajiti and act as if he had accepted his superiority. Kushwa went to Saint Dajiti and did as he instructed to do, but Dajiti did not believe his words. Now Lord Vishnu became angry and tried to kill him by his Sudarshana Chakra, but he was not successful, as the chakra which was given by him by Lord Shiva himself was not willing to harm a devotee of Shiva. Lord Vishnu then tried to kill Dadichi by shooting volley of arrows. The deities had too attacked with their weapon. Saint Dajiti threw a handful of kusha grass initiated with mantras towards them, which destroyed all the weapons of the devas. In the meantime, Lord Brahma arrived on the scene accompanied by Kushva. He told the devas that it was futile to fight with Dajiti as he was invincible due to the boon given by Lord Shiva. Ultimately, King Kushva begged his forgiveness for his offense. Dadichi forgave him and cursed Vishnu, including all the devas, that they would be burned to ashes by the wrath of Rudra. This was the reason why all the devas, and Lord Vishnu attended Yajna organized by Daksha and got defeated by Virabhadra. The devas go to Lord Shiva. The devas, after being defeated by Virabhadra, went to Brahmaloka and narrated everything about the destruction of Daksha's yajna and also how his head was severed by Virabhadra. Brahmaji became very sad because Daksha Prajapati was also Brahma's son. To bring Daksha back to life and to accomplish the still unfinished yajna, he went to Lord Vishnu to take his help. All the devas accompanied him also. Lord Vishnu told them that it was wrong on the part of Daksha to have shown disrespect to Shiva. The devas were wrong to support him. Lord Vishnu then went to Kailash mountain accompanied by Shiva, accompanied by Brahma. Lord Vishnu then went to Kailash mountain accompanied by Lord Brahma and all the other devas. All of them eulogized and worshipped Shiva. They also requested him to bring Daksha back to life. Daksha, Lord Shiva became very pleased and agreed to make Daksha alive. All of them went to Kanakala, the place where Daksha had organized the Yajna ceremony. Virabhadra too accompanied them. When they reached the site, Lord Shiva could not hold his laugh after seeing the destruction of the site. Anyway, he joined the head of the goat to the Daksha's body and made him alive. He also compensated for all the losses which had been caused by the destruction. All the devas became very pleased and they praised Shiva. Daksha organizes yajna once again, becoming pleased by the invocation of eulogy of the devas. Lord Shiva preached Daksha in the following way. The person who has the right knowledge, jnana, is the supreme among all the human beings. An action which is performed in one's ignorance and jealousy does not liberate a man from his world bondages. An action which is performed in one's ignorance and jealousy does not liberate a man from his world bondages. O Daksha then accomplished his yajna, singing the praise of Lord Shiva. He also gave lots of donation to the Brahmins. Everybody returned to their respective houses, being fully satisfied. Sati, the daughter of Daksha, was reborn as Gauri, the daughter of Himalaya, and Maina. By her tremendous penance, she again had Lord Shiva as her husband. This area is called Parvatakanda. Himalaya marries Maina. Narada requests Lord Brahma to shed light on the birth of Maina and also too she was married to Himalaya. Brahmaji said, after relinquishing her body, Sati, the daughter of Daksha, attained to the abode of Shiva. In her next birth, she was born to Maina, the wife of Himalaya, and was known as Parvati. Parvataraja Putri Parvati. Maina had done great service to Sati in her previous life. Maina had done great service to Sati in her previous life, considering as her own daughter. For this reason, she was blessed and got Parvati as her daughter. Parvati did tremendous penance and got Lord Shiva as her husband. Continuing with the story, Brahmaji said, once Himalaya, the king of mountains, decided to marry with the desire of expanding his lineage. The Devas came to know about his desire, and so they went to the Pitras and requested them to give their daughter, Maina, so that Himalaya could marry her. The Pitras agreed at this proposal, thus Maina got married with Himalaya. After the marriage ceremony, the Devas returned back to their respective abodes. Maina gets liberated from the curse. Daksha had 60 daughters. Swada was one of them and was married to the Pitras. In due course of time, 3 daughters were born to them, Maina, Dhanya, and Kalavati. Once all the 3 of them went to Shvetadvipa to have a darshana of Lord Vishnu. Right then, sages like Sanaka, Sanandana also arrived there. Everybody present there stood up in reverence, but Maina, Dhanya, and Kalavati could not identify who they were, and hence they remained sitting. Not only that, they did not even make any salutation to them. The sages became angry and cursed them to be born as humans in the next birth. Maina, Dhanya, and Kulavati became very frightened and requested to be pardoned. Sages Sanaka Maharshi, feeling pity on them, told Maina would become the wife of Himalaya in her next birth and give birth to Parvati. Similarly, Dhanya would be married to King Janaka and Sita would be born to them. Similarly, Kalavati would be married to Vrishabhanu and Radha would be born to them. Sage Sanaka also told them that in this way all 3 of them would attain to the heaven. Invocation. Brahmaji told Narada that after getting married with Maina, Himalaya enjoyed a happy married life for a long time. Once Lord Vishnu paid a visit to his place, accompanied by all the deities, all the devas. Himalaya was very pleased by his arrival. After making salutation, he asked for the purpose of their visit. The devas revealed to him that very soon the incarnation of Sati Parvati is going to take birth. Therefore, O Himalaya, Be prepared for the glorious occasion, said the Devas. Himalaya was very pleased at this news. The Devas started invocating Parvati, Uma. Goddess Uma consoles Devas. Being pleased by the invocation made by the deity Devas, Goddess Uma assured the Devas about her arrival in this world. She told that the incarnation would take place in the house of Himalaya, and by the virtues of her tremendous penance, she would get Lord Shiva as her husband. She also told the Devas that she was satisfied by the service of Maina done to her in the previous life. After being assured, the Devas went back satisfied. Maina and Himalaya commence penance. Himalaya and Maina commence their penance with their objective of getting Uma as their daughter. Maina did a tremendous penance which lasted for 27 years. Goddess Uma became very pleased by her penance. She appeared before Maina and asked her to demand anything she wished for. Maina expressed her desire of having 100 valiant sons and a daughter who would be worshipped by the people in all the three worlds. Goddess Uma blessed her by saying Tathastu. Maina narrated this incident to her husband Himalaya. He became very pleased. In due course of time, 100 sons were born to Maina. One of the sons was Mainaka, who possessed supreme qualities. Due to some reasons, Indra had severed the wings of Mainaka's 99 brothers. But by taking the refuge of ocean, Mainaka was able to survive the assault of Indra's Vajrayudha. Himalaya and Maina engaged themselves in the worship of Shiva and Shakti. Day and night. After some days, Parvati manifested herself by taking birth. After her birth, the whole mountainous region of Himalaya became illuminated by her radiance. The divine childhood place of Parvati. After taking her birth, Parvati gradually started growing up. Various names given to her, like Girija, Uma, Jagadamba, Himalaya, and Maina, felt proud of their fate, which had made them the parents of an incarnation. Seeing the childhood place of Uma, their hearts knew no bounds. One day, sage Narada arrived there to Himalaya palace. I requested him to study the palm of Parvati, as he was curious to know about her future. After studying the lines of the palm, Narada predicted that Parvati was destined to be the wife of an entity who would be beyond the reach of all the three qualities. He also revealed them that her husband would be devoid of any flaws and would be self-born Rudra. Narada told Himalaya that to have Rudra as her husband, Parvati will have to accomplish great austerities and penance. Narada then went away. The dreams of Parvati and Himalaya. When Uma had attained the marriageable age, Maina requested her husband a suitable bridegroom for her. Himalaya told her that the words of Narada would never go in vain. Hence, Uma should be asked to do penance so that she could have Rudra as her husband. But Maina was disinclined in forcing her tender daughter, Parvati, into such hardships like penance, tapas. Parvati then told Maina about her dream in which she had seen Brahmin instructing her to do penance in order to have Rudra as an husband. Maina told Himalaya about Parvati's dream. About his own Himalaya then revealed to Maina about his own dream, in which he had seen Lord Shiva doing penance at Kailas mountain. He had tried to give Parvati to him, was unwillingly to have her service, but Shiva ultimately changed his mind, and after being satisfied by Parvati's replies, Himalaya said, I saw in my dream that Parvati had pleased Shiva by her tremendous penance, and ultimately both of them got married. Maina was satisfied and waited eagerly for that auspicious moment. birth of the Bhoma moves. When once the Ganas of Shiva prized the glory of Mother Sati, Lord Shiva became overjoyed, just like an ordinary human being. In his joy, he traveled all around the three worlds without any clothes on his body. He returned back to Kailash and went to meditation. While he was engrossed in his samadhi, three drops of perspiration originated from his forehead, fell down in the earth. From these drops manifested a very beautiful infant who was of reddish complexion and who had four arms. Seeing the child, Lord Shiva became concerned about शम्भवे नमः विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्र्यम्बकाय त्रिपुरान्तकाय त्रिकाग्निकालाय कालाग्निरुद्राय नीलकण्ठाय मृत्युञ्जयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः ॐ ऐं ह्रीं क्लीं चामुण्डाय विचे ॐ ऐं ह्रीं क्लीं चामुण्डाय विचे ॐ ऐं ह्रीं क्लीं चामुण्डाय विचे हरि ओम. We are concluding this chapter for today and we will start in the next session further story of Himalaya and Maina. Thank you very much.